Hello, welcome to Carnival of Rust Restorations. My name is Ghost, and I'm an amateur of restoring classic vehicles, and my husband, Phantom, is the one filming right now. He will also be joining me on the channel. This is basically a video showing what vehicles we currently have. Right next to me, I have an 81 Chevy Suburban 3/4 ton 4-wheel drive. We are actually in the process of doing an axle swap. And with 4-wheel drives, you need to have the front axle and back axle matching, otherwise you can burn up your transfer case. The front axle is the old axle right now. The replacement one is actually outside. And paint job's not the best on it right now. We were trying to figure out what we were going to do and have settled on just doing primer black. This one does have the barn doors. Now these doors came off of an older Suburban, but they will match with a little bit of work. And behind us, we have the original hood right there, I believe, right? If it's camo, that's the original hood. These parts right in the center, these fenders, came off of a 1976 Ford Mustang Cobra II. There's the grill and other parts. This is a primer black. Well, the other side is primer black. This one's going to be replacing the camo hood because it's already primer black. Now this one right here is the 76 Cobra II. Near as we can tell, it is all original. On the side right here, it says Boss 302. I have been told different sources that it is and that it isn't. It needs to be pulled anyways. So I will be doing research on the block once it is pulled out. It says V8 CBFDS. The CB is Cobra. This is an original Cobra II. And this one right here is a 1965 Chevy C10. This one will be a resto mod. The donor vehicle for the engine, transmission, and frame is a 96 Chevy pickup. This is actually the donor vehicle for the axles for that 81 Suburban. Whoever had this before us converted it to 4-wheel drive. It's not what we wanted to keep. The 81 needed new axles anyways, and I personally could not find matching axles that were not welded. The back axle, the original back axle on that 81 was welded. So, not very good for going around corners or top speed. So since we were doing a resto mod with this one, scavenging those parts and retrofitting onto the 81. Well, this is not OSHA like compliant, by the way. So we're trying to get the axle swap done as quickly as possible so it is not suspended like this for too long. And here we have a 1973 Buick Boattail Riviera. This is Phantom's personal project vehicle. Here is that gorgeous back glass. This is the whole reason he purchased this vehicle. This back glass was intact. It's still intact. If it was not, he probably wouldn't have purchased this one. Those are the vehicles. I will include a picture of the 85 C30 because you can't see it right now due to the time of day that it is. The 65 runs.
Sort of.
The Cobra does not run at all. The 81 does run, but it needs, like I said, that axle and new brake lines and some other work done to it. The 85 would start, but it's having back axle issues as well. The 73 Boat Tail also runs for short periods of time and does move under its own power for short periods of time. Is there anything you would like to add, baby?
Just that to complete the axle swap, I have to take the bumper and that bracket off, transfer it to the 81, and transfer the original mounting hardware from the 81 to this one. I think you can see that fairly well. They had it welded and bolted, so I have to take the bumper off to grind the welds out. Leaving the original, or the makeshift mounting for the rear axle in place, because we're not doing as aggressive a lift on the 81 as they had on this one. And this is the bad axle out from underneath the 81. That axle's already been swapped. The only reason for putting that axle back underneath this is so that when the axle swap is completed, we will be able to still move this vehicle around, i.e. making it able to roll.
And each vehicle will have its own playlist, so that way if you are not interested in a certain vehicle
Or a certain job,
you can just skip to said vehicle or said video.
we are not professionals, we are learning as we go. So, apologize for advance for any backward motion on the vehicles as we figure stuff out on our own.
We both love classics. We both grew up around classics. And like Phantom said, we are learning as we go. And we're going to be doing a lot of research before we fully do everything. And I'm sure we will have screw-ups every once in a while. It's a learning process. But no, everybody has to start somewhere, right? With that being said, don't forget to subscribe and hit that notification bell so you get notified every time we upload a new video. I don't know how often that will be at this point in time. Try to get something done fairly regularly when we can between our usual schedules and lives.